We are live.
Morning.
Hello. How are you?
Terrible. Got a minute?
We got several minutes. There's
All right.
when the room fills up with people watching, there's topics to talk about.
Morning, everyone.
Yes.
Steve, Dave, Chauncey, Patrick.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Steve Park comments like 5 hours before the stream starts. Usually. What's up, Chauncey? Why are you going to be at the flea market on Sunday? Are you going to make public appearances? Patrick in Sweden, Chris James. I am one of us, and Steve Park again. Yes, his life has nothing going on. And Zeb, why are you such a troublemaker? That's why I want to know. Why can't you just act like a normal person on the internet? That's my question for you. Okay, Jeffy,
Matt, Chris.
Hello. Yes. Okay, I won't believe it until I see it. That's all I'm saying.
Who's got a birthday today?
Someone has a birthday?
No, but thought I'd ask.
There's birthdays every day, from what I understand. You show me a restaurant, and I'll show you a group of waiters that get together that sing "Happy Birthday" to somebody.
Every day.
Every day. Every day.
So I should be working.
Yes. You know what came out the other day? I don't know if you know this, Jim.
What?
The new copy of the Record Collector News.
Shut up.
And it would have been,
wow.
It would have been, I think Bob Marley's running for president in the year 2080. No, he would have been
that's 80. What that is.
He would have been 80.
It's his 80th year. It would have been 80.
Record Safari has the coveted advertising spot at the bottom of the cover.
Yeah, they bought the cover, man.
So, in this issue, which there's no Boomer Scalper, because I did write a review of the Humming Guru, right? So I'm flipping through here.
Keep flipping.
I know. It's like buried in the back.
Way in the back.
You know what you should do? You have these maps with record stores.
Uh-huh.
You should do a map of the vinyl community. Where people are.
Where everyone lives.
Yeah. All right. So here, buried in the back. Where is it? I think you might have actually. Okay. So here, I wrote a review of the Humming Guru, right?
Who did? What?
Well, wait. I wrote a review of the Humming Guru.
You turned in a review.
Oh, wait. I turned in a review of the Humming Guru. There were several products they sent us. So the editor of this paper, magazine thing, decided to combine everything into one article. So I would like you all to not refer to me as the Waxed or Rob or whatever you call me. From now on, I am RCN staff. Thank you.
Yeah, RCN staff.
I'm changing my name to RCN staff.
This is huge.
Yes.
So you've been cleaning your records.
It's sort of a big announcement. And thank God it's not April Fool's Day.
No, we waited. No.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah. So that's all.
Yep. I had to combine 3 pieces into one. So there you go.
Yes. Just when you address me, RCN staff.
Listen, RCN staff. Is it RCN staff, one word, or is it RCN staff?
No,
Can I just
RCN
call you staff?
Yeah.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
No, there's no Rob. It's just RCN staff.
Very nice.
Yes. You know what? I haven't even signed the paperwork that will allow me to be RCN staff.
No, it's not voluntary. It's involuntary. You have been reduced to, and then fill in the blanks. RCN staff in your case.
Yeah.
It's just a procedure coming down the
Well,
pike.
do you think if we go places and I go RCN
staff?
staff,
That's not
people
good.
would be impressed?
No.
No.
Uh-uh.
Well, I try and make it. And with a little get up and go and stick to itiveness and try and stuff, you too can be part of the RCN staff.
I think
Do-
though,
do
when
I-
people think RCN staff in your case, the next thing is infection. They just go straight to
Yes.
staph infection.
RCN staff infection. I felt like I've had that for quite a while.
Yeah.
But will I get a monikered tracksuit that says RCN staff or
Of course. You have
a
to pay
hat?
for it. You have to buy it from the company
I'm
store.
thinking the merch store, that might be a popular item.
Yeah. RCN staff.
Remember those old style t-shirts that say blah 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 sports department?
Right.
Can we get one that's record collector news staff?
Yeah, RCN staff. Staff.
Staff.
Yeah. That would be good. I think that would work.
I try hard,
That'll work.
Uh-huh.
Ugh.
Well, put the metal to the pedal. Hey, so
Anything new in the news?
yeah, the wax gravy train came yesterday.
Nice.
So Kraft, I have a connection to Kraft. They do not send me everything they put out.
Are you talking gravy train? Are you whoring out for Kraft now? Wish I could.
No, I can't whore out if they don't send me everything. What I have done is they've sent me stuff. The last thing they sent me was the Joe Henderson reissue. They did multiple, and I have an original copy. So I made a little kind of comparison video. I wouldn't rightfully call it a shootout. So this is every year it seems Kraft for regular record store day issues a mono version of a popular jazz record. This year it's Mulligan meets Monk. So this is mono. Kevin Gray cut it, pressed at RTI. And usually these are excellent. They did a Bill Evans, they did a Chet Baker. What was the last? They did a Gil Evans. Here's Mazzy. He'll talk over me as I explain this. So this is an excellent record. And why I can say it's an excellent record is I have what I thought was an original version. So this came out in 1957. From what I understand, this is a deep groove Riverside. This is mono. But what's the difference between these two? The difference is that this one has a picture on it. So I went to Wikipedia, where I always go for all my information, everyone. No, I went to Discogs. And actually, the original mono version of the record came out with this cover. So it did come out with this cover.
Huh.
But the same year, they decided to issue it with this cover, with the picture of both of them on it. And it's labeled New York City, August 1957, which is not on here. And I think almost every other version that was released, at least in the US, had this cover. So I do not know what the decision was to add the photo. I have not been able to find out that information. So I will do a video, or I will do a comparison video of these two. But it's a great record. So who else is on here with them? Wilbur Ware's on bass, Shadow Wilson on drums, Monk's piano, and Mulligan's playing the baritone sax. So I'm looking forward to comparing the two. So if anyone knows the reason why this one has the photo, please let me know. But it only came out once. It only came out once with this cover the first. I assume it's the first mono pressing. So
I wasn't interrupting. I was going to answer you because you were asking that question. But my guess would be it was a marketing thing that someone in marketing or the wanted to show the artist people's faces on it later on, so they added it on.
well, it was the same year they were issued the same
Yeah,
year.
well, that happens sometimes. They change the cover, and so.
So that came yesterday, and I did pick up some records yesterday. I went out, and Mazzy, I believe, had recommended. He's walking away. What do we do now? You know, this is what happens when he's not part of the RCN.
I'm listening. I mean,
drifts.
it's
Drifts. Mine just drifts.
You know what? Talk about cheap heat. You can find a lot of the Shelly Man and his men records cheap. This is them doing the soundtrack to the film Gun, which was that a film of Peter Gunn, which Henry Mancini wrote the theme. Bum 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 bum. This is a mono. I do like the Atlantic mono label.
That would be Henry Mancini wrote that. So
I just said Henry Mancini wrote that.
I know. I don't know.
So this is excellent. It sounds excellent. This is a case where the mono on this, I mean, transcends. It does. I'm not getting mono from it. It has a sound stage. It's full, bright, and instruments sound separated. So this is excellent. If you ever find it, I didn't pay much for this, and this is kind of minty. The band on here, his men change, but you got Conte Calante, Frank Strozer, Monty Bonwick, and Mike Wofford, and it's excellent. This is really good. It sounds good. So I'm never kind of disappointed by the Shelly Man and his men records. So grab this. The mono transcends. Tim, University of Vinyl. Everyone thinks he's an excellent guy. So he has a new item he sent me.
We don't think he is. He is. He is an excellent.
He made these pennants. So I'm a valedictorian from the University of Vinyl.
That's a great idea. Good idea, Tim.
Right. So I
Very
think
nice.
I think he has a merch store, and I think these are available. So go pick them up.
Very nice. Very nice.
He sent me 2 of them.
Well, what do you know?
So
And
I'm putting out Mazdy condoms.
So I made a record swap with him. He went to one of his local stores that got in a collection of these BYG jazz records. And this is a very sought after one. This Frank Wright, one for John. Free jazz. Excellent. And I sent 2 records to him that he wanted. One was translucent vinyl. So thank you, Tim, for grabbing this for me. I enjoyed it immensely. All right. Okay, this was the find of the day. This record is killer. Buddy Tate meets Dollar Brand. And Mazzy's a fan of Dollar Brand. So Dollar Brand is
thank you.
Right. His stage name, and I don't even know what his real name was. I know he converted to Islam, I suppose. And he's known now. He's still alive, right? He's like veering towards 90 and still playing. Is what's his real name, Mazzy? Do you know off the top of your
Ibrahim Ibrahim. I was going to
Abdullah
say
Ibrahim.
Yeah, the Jeffy
Ibrahim. Yeah.
Jeffy
I like the Cape Town Fringes, the first album.
Right. And I picked up a record of his recently. That Cape Jazz, as it's called, is kind of got a joyful thing to it. But this is excellent, just standard jazz. Buddy Tate was a old-timey sax player. He played, I think, with Count Basie and a bunch of people. This was a record done in 1977. And I know Dollar Brand is heavily his like idol, I think, was Duke Ellington. He did a tribute album to Duke Ellington. But the lineup on this is crazy good. You got Dollar Brand and Buddy Tate, but Cecil McBee and Roy Brooks. Cecil McBee kind of steals this album. His playing bass is killer. But I'm a big fan of when people do their versions of In a Sentimental Mood. And the version on here is killer. Killer good. So if you find this album, and I can't imagine it's that expensive, this this record label is an American label, I believe, right? Cherokuro. This is Japanese pressing, but this is a killer album. I suggest people get it. So awesome. Okay, I got a few more albums to show. Then we can get in the thick of it. All right. I went to Atomic yesterday. One of the owners goes to Japan a lot. He does bring back some records with him. He handed this to me and said I picked this up. This is a Jack DeJohnette record. Have you heard? It originally with Benny Maupin, Gary Peacock, and Hideo Ikamawa.
This is the orange they use for the photograph.
That actually looks like it's a sunset. But thanks for playing.
Oh. Okay.
Or it is an orange, or it might be the planet Venus in the sky.
It does look like that sort of Japanese sunset you see.
Right. So this was originally put out by Columbia Sony in Japan in 1970, but it was issued by Milestone in the US. This is free jazz, is not crazy free jazz, but it's basically free jazz. And it really is very good. Cool inner inside the gatefold. And it really is very good. I highly recommend it. I think the cover that I noticed is there's a French version with a yellow cover and pictures of the band. That one I have seen before. But this is great. It really is very good. And I was very happy that he pointed it out that he had in the store. He didn't really bring back many records with him, but this is great. So, all right. Someone had recommended this a long time ago, and I picked it up. This is a direct to disc cutting, 45 RPM, single disc. Warren Smith and Toki. This is kind of free jazz too. Killer sounding record, very good. And I didn't know he did a few of them. Here's another one with Warren Smith, and I'm not even going to mangle that guy's name. So another one of these, and then a third one is a Lou Tabakin 40 direct called Trackin'. I have not listened to this yet. So Shelly Mann plays drums on this with him. So these sound great. If you ever see these, they're not expensive. I suggest you pick it up. And then the last thing, I got an upgrade copy of John Coltrane, Kulu Say Mama, with Van Gelder, and the Dead Wax of Rich is around. So I have not identified this as this is a late 60s, early 70s pressing. But this is good because I don't know. This isn't like a very expensive John Coltrane record for some reason, but it's good. It's kind of got avant-garde stuff on it. Hey, what's up, Captain Spaulding? So that's what I found yesterday. All right. Thank you for listening. You have that. Good. I look forward to listen to it. I have not listened to it yet. What's the copyright on the bottom of the label? There's no date on it. I know sometimes the ABC one is late, like 68, 69.
That could be as early 70s, that ABC.
No, as early as 68 or 69.
I mean, as late as early 70s.
Yeah, it's probably,
my mistake.
I'm guessing it's a 68 or 69, but it
I
could
apologize.
be a 70.
I made a mistake.
71.
Yes.
But there's no date on it.
So you did mention this, and this.
Oh, yeah, you're making the tour of showing that on every live stream.
Of course. Well, that's what we all do.
Here's the thing. I hung out with Joey the other day. Joey was in town. He said, have you gotten a notice that you're getting your copy yet? I go, no. He goes, they were supposed to send them out.
Yeah, they
So
blew
I
it.
have gotten no notice of me getting a copy.
Yeah, the
yet.
guy shipped them out of Portland literally the day before yesterday. I got mine yesterday from Portland. I haven't
How did
opened
it
this yet.
come? Did it come U.S. mail?
It come UPS overnight. Mine did, at least.
Okay.
And he had to send one to Canada, so he had to go do it himself because the guy wouldn't send it to Canada. Anyway, I haven't listened to this one yet, but I have heard the test pressing, and it was fabulous. And I was nervous because Joey and his wife were here, and his sister-in-law when they brought the test pressing over a month and a half ago, whenever it was. And I thought, what if I don't like this while he's here? If it doesn't sound good, it's surprisingly really dynamic. It's definitely a digital cut a step in it, but to analog, but it's really good. It's double album, but really dynamic and really good. But I haven't heard this, which is on kind of a strawberry swirl. But he's coming over today. We're going to open it and record a video on it. Yeah, Ken Scott produced it in '92, and this was their first album. And they have side 4 has 4 extra tracks that weren't on the album, 1 demo and 3 other songs that were not released that they produced. So it's extra. It's really good, and I didn't know it until the CD 2 years ago, whenever I first heard it. So it's really good. So
awesome. I'm waiting for my copy. I have not got.
I have that Monk, by the way, Mulligan album coming tomorrow. Here, they're sending me a couple of things.
Yeah, I only get one record from them.
Yeah,
so
I don't get. They don't send anyone. They don't send everyone everything.
No,
they have so many
I asked for. I'm happy with that one. Since I have an OG, it would be nice to make the comparison.
Now I know why Harry is here, and there's already heads exploding, good and bad, for this. Okay, this is tracks 2. It's
not 9 LPs.
9 LPs, and how many CDs? Like 7 CDs. But here's the thing, and there's also a sampler, a 2 LP sampler there. That's the 2 LP.
So what is it?
This is
all unreleased tracks for the last
unreleased tracks and albums that
years
Springsteen's worked on since the late 70s, I believe, around Nebraska and everything. So far, heads are exploding because the CD box is $299 and the vinyl box is $350. So heads are exploding, of course.
I'll be
Did
buying
you order your copy, Harry?
It actually, it wasn't announced for pre-order yet, and there's some talk that it may actually come out Friday.
That's not true. First of all,
sorry to interrupt, but
I mean, as of last night, I didn't see it pre-order.
I have to point this out. I consider you a troll, Elvis Cup guy, for not participating in anything.
Okay,
and,
it's up on Amazon. Here's what I did, because I don't know if I want to spend the money either. I did pre-order the vinyl on Amazon, and I calendared myself a week before to delete it if I don't, because Amazon, the price may go down. If it goes down, you get the lower price.
What's the release date?
June 7th. Okay.
How many are they making of this box?
They don't say.
No way to tell.
It's Columbia?
And it might be something that sells out. It might be something that in a year it's half the price. We don't know.
I mean, this came out in 1998. This is tracks 1, and this was only 4 CDs.
Yeah, that never came out on vinyl, did it? That never came out on vinyl.
Never came out on vinyl.
I have that. Is this for Springsteen fanatics?
Can you correct me, Harry? Wasn't it a few?
You're wrong.
Wasn't it a few years ago that they put all the Springsteen albums in a box or something like that?
Yeah, they did 2 boxes.
And you said, did you say it's not very good? The sound
no,
wasn't
I
good?
didn't say that at all.
It's very good. It's the plangent.
Very good.
It's better than the originals.
Okay, I'm just
they did it. They improved on everything.
Did that sell well, or do we not know?
I don't know how well it sold.
Okay,
I can tell you, the earth is literally littered, with that Springsteen Live box set from the 80s.
Because it was a massive seller.
They sold so many copies that I think each person in the U.S. got one.
Okay.
And then, that's actually available on 8-track tape as well. It's very rare, but they did make an 8-track of that live album.
Here's the Amazon link. Actually, the release date is June 27th. It's $349 for now. I may cancel it. I don't know yet. I'm going to wait and hear more about it. People are going to be able to stream the entire thing on Apple Music if you want to stream it when it comes out.
It's not for your average fan.
No, it's not. It's not. None of these kind of things are.
Yeah.
But there is a 2 LP kind of sampler that might be good for some
But
people.
the thing with Bruce is, if it didn't fit in his mind, he had an idea of what the theme was going to be or how it was supposed to flow. And it could have been a great song, but if it didn't fit that theme, he wouldn't put it out. Like when he did Born in the USA, I think there was 7 singles released from that album. Every single had a B-side that was not on any other album. So he had quality stuff. He just couldn't fit them all on the record.
Were those songs put out in that CD box you showed?
Some of them were, yeah.
Okay.
And some are here, and some stuff around the.
What era does it start at for this new box?
Jeez.
It goes from the 70s on. I mean,
all right, so it's just stuff he didn't put out on that first.
Tracks 2 is not just one segment, but there are things around Nebraska, apparently like an electric stuff part.
Well, Electric Nebraska basically was Born in the USA songs. It was kind of stuff he wrote during the Nebraska era, but he recorded them with the E Street Band instead of doing it all alone.
And there's a session he did during when he was writing the music for Philadelphia. There's stuff around that when he's using synthesizers,
which I thought was a great song. Streets of Philadelphia. Wow.
That final song is not on here, but working up to it is. So they didn't repeat any official things on here apparently.
Hey, Jeff, it's not complete albums. It's 9 albums of unreleased songs.
Right. He does sort of format them apparently in albums, like thematically around the time.
So they're with the E Street Band, or is it just all him?
Oh, I'm sure it's with the E Street Band.
I think it's a little of everything.
Absolutely.
Drum loop synthesizer sounds, the Streets of Philadelphia tracks, the Lost albums, 35 years.
See you, Dave.
Yeah. So 9 LP.
I guess you can consider them albums, but
100-page cloth-bound hardback book.
Okay, hold on.
That adds the price.
We don't normally get facts from this individual. He's saying it's from the years 1993 to 2018.
I'd have to read it. I haven't read the
No, that's incorrect. It's 1983 to 2018. 1983 to 218. So 82 unreleased songs.
What did you have trouble typing, Nathan? Or
here, look.
I mean, look at this stuff. These are all bootleg. I probably have 200 bootleg CDs of live concerts. It's just.
I know. It's almost like you hate him.
This is an amazing one right here. Absolutely
I used to be all in on Bruce, and then I fell off. This is
at Shoreline at Mountain View.
Is that the one with the other band at Shoreline?
No.
Okay, because I saw him the only time I saw him at Shoreline.
Yeah, no, this is 88.
When he had the woman bass player.
Yeah, I didn't like that tour so much. This is a great CD live at the Tacoma Dome.
Yeah. I did see in a sort of related Bruce Springsteen, I did see on YouTube that DC's own, what's his face, who's in the band?
Who? No, what?
Niels Lofgren. Yeah. He's starting like a YouTube series where he's gonna talk about his history in music.
I like.
He was in Neil Young for years too.
Yeah, well, he says, if you don't know me, solo, E Street Band, and Crazy Horse.
His solo, his albums with his brother, the band Grin, are great, and then his solo stuff on A&M. He's a short guy, and what he used to do with his Strat, he used to do backflips while he was playing.
Yeah.
Well, if you saw like his first solo album, his video on MTV, He's
Yeah.
doing flips.
He was a alcoholic for a while, and he said the reason he quit drinking is that every time he would drink, he would break out in handcuffs.
Ah, well, you
His
know, if
backflips.
Harry Lewis, Harry's in the peanut. Harry, do you remember if you grew up in DC, there used to be a chain of Taekwondo gyms or whatever. This guy Jun Ree, and you can go look up on YouTube. His commercials were famous because I assume it was his kids who would go, "Nobody bothers me." Jun Ree karate or kung fu or whatever. But he had a theme song that Niels Lofgren wrote and sang. And it was people, if you grew up in DC, yeah, see, Harry knows it. Nobody bothers me. So go watch it on YouTube. It's
One of his best songs is called "Keith Don't Go," written about
that's a
Keith
great
Richards.
That is great. Well, that album is amazing. And Cry Tough is a great record. Cry Tough. I love that. All those A&M records are
There's a live album that Chad did at Analog Productions that I don't own, but I hear this amazing sound.
Now
I have it. I have it.
A&M
That song
A&M
Go is unbelievable.
A&M fucked him up because they were going to do a double live album right around the time when Frampton Comes Alive, when that and that could have kind of really pushed Niels Lofgren to the next level. And they issued a single radio live thing to radio. I have a copy of it. It only went to radio stations. It's like it's an official bootleg, and it got a lot of play on FM radio around the country. And they radio stations were urging A&M to release that officially, and they never did. About a year later, they released a double live album for Niels, and it was like too late, too little, too late, and it kind of fucked up.
Neil Young kind of plucked him from obscurity and put him.
Yeah, well, he was on the he's on the after the gold rush.
He liked him. Am I wrong about this?
Yeah,
wasn't basically Crazy Horse the band Neil Young saw and then made his band backing band?
Yeah, he was in part of Crazy Horse there. Yeah, that's a great record. I met him. I have a picture of him and me at the Ringo signing when I got the book. I met Ringo.
I've met Nils so many times.
Yeah,
it's like he's a great guy. He's a very friendly guy.
You kind of got a lifeline. That's the double live album. Yeah.
Do you have autograph?
Oh.
So apparently this Bruce Springsteen, vinyl, that's $350. Yeah. When they posted it yesterday morning, it was going to be $150, but because of the Trump tariffs, it went up $200.
Oh gosh.
Because it's being pressed like in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone.
Yeah, this is really good. This is a bootleg of the promo. But it's been.
I have the. That's not the official bootleg.
No, I think. Well, I don't think so. I think it's a boot.
Is it printed on the cover? Because I don't think it is. Yeah, I don't know.
It looks just like it. But
I have an original, the radio station copy.
Hold on. I'll warn the authorities.
Uh-oh.
Hey, next Thursday afternoon, Neptune Records in the afternoon if you're in Vancouver, British Columbia. I don't know what time. 4? I don't know.
What? You'll be there?
A meetup with Rob Frith, who owns it.
Are you you should ask him to set up a session where you can listen to that tape.
Well, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have the player there.
What is the deal? Why does everybody think that's so special? That's a great record, they say.
Is it really good?
It is fantastic. Yeah, highly recommend it.
I don't know why I didn't get that. I bet you I liked it. Yeah,
it's back in stock. I think he's got them pressed again.
No,
yeah, it's really good.
What year was that?
Your ears, orange margin.
What year was that recorded?
And I think, it's all acoustic, which I would like. So I went to the Backstage in Seattle to see Nils play one night. Backstage is a small club, and you had to go down these steps to get down into the basement. and Neil Young showed up to watch the show, and he just sat in the back. He had his entourage around. You couldn't get to him. But David, who was his manager? David or Briggs.
David Briggs is not his manager, but
Well, he played in the band, but
David Briggs played with Crazy Horse. And
David Briggs had passed away, and they were in Seattle to do some type of a thing for him. And Nils did a song and dedicated it to David. And he had the lyrics. He had to put the lyrics on the floor in front of him. And my good friend, who's a massive Neil Young fan, when the song was over, he reached down and took the lyrics and put them in his pocket. After the show, some people came up to him and said, "Whoa, you got to give us those lyrics back." He said, "Neil just wrote that song and he can't remember the lyrics." He says, "And we need that back." So they took it away from him.
Wow.
he could have used his phone and take a picture of them with their phones in.
Yeah, but he wanted the handwritten lyrics.
No, but I mean, Neil could have for his version. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Neil's anal about shit like that.
What
Yes, he is.
Is he putting a new album out, or I know he's touring?
Neil's?
He put something out every 6 months.
Neil Young. There was actually one of the most recent. I'll get it.
Citizen Kane Jr. Blues, Baby Microscope says.
That was what?
Neil.
Okay.
I haven't even heard of that.
This is the last of the archive series, and it's excellent. This is really good.
Yeah, but I'm talking about brand new material.
Well, he did something. Was it last?
He's got a live thing from his show coming out. The Coastal Express live.
Yeah.
Is that news from the RCN staff?
That's that's news from RCN Publisher, the guy that's in charge of the whole fucking show. Which, by the way, folks, April is our 17th year.
Do I get invited to the birthday, even though I'm a former RCN staff?
When's the big party?
20 at 20. We got a few more years to
the
go.
big party will involve a pig roast.
No, we just a shoulder. Come on, Rob. That's sick. We take a shoulder and
one at a time.
Every year.
Pig like that, you don't eat all at once.
Yeah. Pig that good. Come on. This pig one night, the house caught on fire. Pig rescued us, put the whole house out.
Jesus Christ.
Neil was going to do a free show in the Ukraine, and he backed out of security issues.
Wow.
No comment.
Yeah, I got problems with Pirate Ship this morning.
Why?
It's just I'm getting some weird fucking error message.
Reboot.
And then they want to chat.
You sure it's not
Well,
you?
Everything is a shit show this morning.
Man, the stock market.
Yeah,
it's
better for everybody.
Good news for me. I'll be working until I croak.
Yeah.
Well, my buddy Hamill, that is a touring musician, he says his retirement plan is to die on stage.
Yeah, well,
he canceled his UK tour because he said, "I'm afraid I won't get back in the country."
I might not get
I
back.
don't know about that, but maybe they might destroy.
I might just stay in Canada, actually.
Yes, please.
I could. I would.
They won't have you, Mazzy.
Well, I'm driving.
Okay. We're not talking politics here, but let me just tell you guys.
Except
based on what's happened in the last 24 hours, right now there's no place that's that great to be. Probably.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's resonated.
And it's amazing.
Across the world.
It's amazing one person has caused all this. This isn't just like the inflation because of a pandemic and things like that.
Springsteen. Springsteen. Fucking guy. Who knew?
Hey, Jeffy, I ain't making it to 90. I know that.
Jim, I have people who have professionally written about Springsteen in numerous magazines. If you'd like something for a cover story coming up for his new release,
We've never done Bruce. We've never done a Bruce thing.
Well,
Well, you
then
should
get that
with
fixed.
this release would be a good
I'll
thing
talk
to do.
to a couple of
Well,
guys and see if they want to write for you.
My personal thing
Hold
is
on,
we should
hold
keep
on,
that
hold on right there. Because I was inside the coffee break room at RCN with the staff,
staff break
and
room.
it's there are marching orders that we're not putting 500-year-old people on the cover anymore. We
Well,
want
that's
young,
what I was.
fresh musical artists.
How many
That's what I was gonna
words
say.
do you need, Jim?
In 17 years, we have never done a Springsteen thing, and maybe
That's
we
why-
should keep
that's
that
weird.
streak alive.
Oh,
No, sorry, that was 2,000 words. That's all I can handle these days. 2,000
Hold on.
words. Main thing is though, I need artwork for the cover. What am I going to put on the cover? I need a compelling
I'll pick
image
something out
that I
for
don't
you.
have to pay for.
Yeah, but you have to license it, Harry.
I don't want. I can't
Listen.
pay. I don't.
I have
I
a
am
lot
not-
of photos
But
I took.
Sony will send you stuff you can use for the new release,
As long as that happens, yeah.
but you
Okay.
have to reach out to
I
Sony.
am not the biggest Springsteen fan.
You're the
I
tallest, though.
I did see him in concert. It was very good, but it was always my understanding, basically. So I've known of him most of my life, and I would always say to myself, "Why does he always sing about a girl named Mary?" Seems like
Hey
Mary
Siri, write
is in
200
all his
words on
songs.
Bruce Springsteen.
Harry, why does he sing about Mary so much?
Sometimes it's Kathy.
It's Mary. He's singing
I
about
know, but
Mary.
if you listen to the
Who is
outtakes,
this Mary?
I don't know.
Oy.
He's got one song called, I think it's called Reno, where he's talking about
Okay.
having sex with
Jim?
a prostitute.
In Freehold,
And
New
he says
Jersey.
I got
extra.
it.
Is a renowned American singer-songwriter known for his evocative lyrics and dynamic performance.
That's AI. Who?
Emerging in the early 1970s, he gained prominence with his 1975 album Born to Run, which depicted the struggles of working-class America.
And Mary.
Over his
What's
career,
happening with that
Bruce
Mary
was
woman?
numerous acclaimed
Okay, I'll send that to you.
Overdressed
We'll just put
ladies.
written by RCN former staff.
Hold on 1 second. Someone made a comment. Why can't you be more like Bruce and sing about Mary, Angelo Kelly? Write a song about Mary and you'll be like him.
I was watching Jeopardy the other night, and the clue was, what city does Bruce Springsteen write about? Got a wife and kids, and I'm never going back.
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Nobody knew it. None of the three people
Yep.
knew it.
Okay. That was another thing too. I go because he basically changed his singing style for that song, right? Because
They
I always
sped it
thought,
up a half a
yeah,
bit.
because I always thought it was Steven Van Zandt singing the song.
And it's got Flo and
It was
Eddie on
not.
backup.
No, that's on Hungry Heart.
That's
Yeah. There
So
was a
Got a wife and
comedian.
Who's
kids in
sing-
Baltimore,
singing-
Jack.
who's singing Hungry. That is Hungry Heart.
Yeah,
Baltimore
that's
Jack,
Hungry
what I'm
Heart.
talking
Oh,
about.
right. Okay. There was
So
a
is it-
comedian that did a bit on that song back when it came out. There, I don't remember. There was a Trailside Strangler. It was like a serial killer that would and so he did a thing. Took the wife and kids to Baltimore Jack. We went for a hike and we never came back. And we talked about the
Now, the other
Hillside
thing with
Strangler.
Mary though is Bruce is a Catholic, was raised Catholic, and he's pretty religious actually. So Mary could play into that.
I met his
Well-
sister once. She's I met
Pam.
Bruce backstage at
Actually,
Winterland.
His sister is in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. She was an
She's a
actress.
Well,
photographer.
she's a photographer. His sister's
Wait,
a photographer.
His sister was an actress too.
Well, maybe she did some acting, but
She
she's
was
No,
in,
no, no.
in Fast
Come
Times.
on. Pamela Springsteen was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
her profession is photographer. Yeah,
I think Jeff
Okay.
is right. I think originally Bruce intended Hungry Heart for the Ramones.
yeah.
He's not joking.
Okay.
My favorite Bruce song is the one he did with Patti Smith.
Because
Well, actually, Bruce wrote it. Who was the producer for Patti Smith?
Jimmy
Okay.
Iovine.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Iovine took the song to Patty and said, "I think this would be good for her. Can she record it?" And Bruce said, "Yes." She added like 2 verses to it, so she gets a co-write on it.
She okay, here's her actress history. She's much younger than him. But she was in Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3.
Huge. She was nominated for an Oscar in those. Both
She's
of
in
them.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Reckless, which was a good movie, and Modern Girls. And then maybe when she gave up acting, she went to photography.
She follows my photo
She's
Instagram, my business.
she's the one who says in Fast Times, "Me and him care for you guys. You don't give us anything." That's that scene. That's who she is.
Okay.
I
Yeah, but
love that. I'm not a big fan of people that cover Bruce songs, but Man for Man did 2 of them that they just knocked it out of the park. Blinded by the Light and Spirits in the Night.
Yeah.
Great
Well,
job.
he wrote Pink Cadillac for Aretha, right?
No, he wrote it and then she covered it.
I like the Greg Kihn version of For You. It's okay. It's not as good as Bruce's, but on that Greg Kihn album.
Well, then what are the songs him and Patti? Didn't he write a lot of songs with Patti Smith?
One.
Just one?
And then Tom Waits covered, or he did a Tom Waits song. What's the song?
And that
Jersey Girl.
He basically, him and Steven Van Zandt basically resurrected Gary U.S. Bonds, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They played on and wrote a couple and produced.
And Bruce was a huge Elvis fan. He's covered Elvis songs a few times.
I don't know. There's a question Harry may know. How rare is the withdrawn first picture sleeve for Japanese 45 of Hungry Heart? I don't know anything about that.
Oh, there's quite a few really rare Japanese picture sleeves.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
But I couldn't answer that off the top of my head. Light of Day was that was on the 93 tour with the new band. That was the highlight of the live show. I thought was Light of Day.
I tell you that the first time I saw him, I went both nights, or I went to, I think, Sacramento and the Paramount Theater in Oakland, the Born to Run 75 tour. To this day, still, it's the best single performance of any rock and roll person I've ever seen in my entire life. And you can't even compare it to later stadium shows, anything else. And I liked him that first maybe 10 years, and I still bought his stuff, but I kind of fell off the Bruce train for a while. I got
into him because I was trading live tapes, and the live shows are so good that
they are.
I just went all in.
The Bottom Line, I was at the Winterland 78 show. I was at the Berkeley shows. I was at
12, 15, 78.
Yeah.
So my buddy, one of my really good friends, is a huge Springsteen fan, like historically. He moved to LA back in the 70s and went to school out here. He talks about seeing Springsteen at the gym at UC Northridge or
VCU.
No, Northridge, Cal State Northridge.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Virginia.
No, Northridge in LA. I see him in the gym there when he was on the cover of Time magazine, right? That was his first big deal. But there was a documentary made, right, about Bruce Springsteen that was all done with fan submissions. My buddy went to a very early Springsteen show and snuck in a 16 millimeter camera and shot footage. And he submitted it, and that footage is in the documentary.
So a good friend of mine, I like to consider him a good friend. I don't know if it's reciprocal, but a good friend of mine gave me this.
What do bad friends give you, Harry?
Didn't I give you that?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
And same week.
Did I give you both?
Also on Newsweek.
Did I give you both?
No, I had this one signed.
Well, that's when he used to sing Rosalita used to sing, hey, I'm no freak. I'm on the cover in Time and Newsweek. He sings in the lyrics.
Yeah.
And that came out.
This I got signed at the Berkeley Community Theater after Ghost of Tom Joad show. And then I shouldn't have done it, but I had John Landau sign it. I wish I hadn't now, but.
Why do you not wish now?
Because I'd rather have it with just Bruce on it.
Wow.
And then in 1999, I went to 4 shows in New Jersey, and I got this big promo poster I had signed by the entire band over the 4 days.
Nice.
Okay. All the cash grab comments are coming out now because of the Bruce, the Bruce thing.
Where are you
Here's the
looking?
question. He sold his catalog for more than Dylan, by the way. He sold his catalog. So does he get the money from this, or does
I
Sony
think
get
he
it?
still gets certain performance. I mean, he gets some of it, not as much as he used to. But whoever bought it, are going to want to make money. So this is one.
No, they did. So who dictated this release? The people that
Well,
bought
he
it?
did. I mean, he still dictates. Like, I don't know
When
the
you
term.
sell your catalog, is it really like all your demos and everything
It
too?
depends. Everything's negotiable.
it's written,
It's
probably.
what's on Schedule C or whatever the schedule is. It will list everything. It could omit certain things. It could say just official releases. It could say the entire demo and masters of everything. It just depends. We don't know. I don't know.
Well, okay, Jim, record collector news.
Yes, staph infection.
For Zappa, when they sold the catalog, did it include all his demos and everything unreleased?
Well, yeah, because Universal is releasing all that shit.
But who's getting the money? Is the family getting anything?
Not a-
No,
Or
they were
is-
paid out all directly, everything.
Family got a chunk of change, and I believe that's it. Now, they might still be involved for a year or two, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. I know that the guy that worked for the family, Joe Travers, he basically did everything. He is now working for Universal and doing the same thing for Universal that he did for the Zappa Family Trust, which is digging through all the tapes and, putting shit together and making it sound good. So
Bruce got
hopefully
five.
that goes on for a long time, because this has been a great partnership in my, for me as a fan.
Because you're getting all that stuff, yeah.
All those reissues are fantastic. All the new stuff is well done. Joe Travers, I mean, these guys are. It's good.
Angela
It's really
brings
good.
up a good point. The artist will still get writing credits.
Right. If you
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they're not selling their.
well, Rob, they could
I have
sell.
no idea.
They could sell all that too. It just depends on what's negotiated. They could sell everything. Theoretically, they could sell future songs that he writes if that's in the terms. I doubt he would do that, but they could do that.
Oh, hey, Mazzy, not to change the subject drastically. You got your Elemental or whatever your titles already.
I got my resonant titles.
So what did you listen to already?
Okay, I got 3. I did not. The one I wish I got, which is not a jazz title, I did not get the Patsy Cline. I really wanted that.
That they're putting out.
Yeah, he's putting that out too. I got the Kenny Dorham. I got the. Wait a second. I'll just show you shit, and I'll.
There you go.
Yes. Hold on. So when did you have your 3-way and where did it take place?
I got to record videos.
Well, I'm glad that my wife allowed me to be there and participate. That was during the book signing.
And you just watched, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, 2 LPs. Kenny Dorham, 1967, live at the Blue, Morocco in the Bronx. I'll come back to it in a second.
Yeah.
3 LPs. These are heavy mothers. Freddie Hubbard at Blue Morocco, also in 67. And Mingus, heavy, 3 LPs. This is 77, South America. Okay. Out of the 3, this is by far my favorite. Excellent sound, excellent performance. This is a killer record. If I was to buy these, I did get these 3 promos. This would be my first choice for
Now, that is.
Why don't you brag a little more, Maz?
Hey,
you have to tell us that you got them as promos.
I have to. People want me to divulge that.
Listen, the man who keeps the staff down. He wasn't the healthiest then. How is his playing on there?
Playing's great. This is a really beautiful record, a really cool record. It's a quintet, South America tour. I forget who's on it now. I don't know these people. Ricky Ford, Jack Woolworth.
Ricky Ford's known. People know him.
Okay. People, not all people, because I didn't know him. I'm not Jack Walrath on trumpet, Robert Nilums on piano, and Danny Richmond on drums. I don't know the band.
So
But this
Danny Richmond played with Mingus forever.
Okay. Well, this is excellent. Excellent. This is really good too. This is on literally it's Freddie Hubbard's on fire. It is on fire. Really well recorded, a nice set, 3 records. Interesting about this club, it didn't last long, of the Blue Morocco. It was owned by Sylvia of Mickey and Sylvia fame. In the 50s, they did the original version of Love is Strange that the Everly Brothers and Paul McCartney covered years later. This is excellent. Now, this is my least favorite. It's good. It's really good. The performance is great. In fact, there's a great Charlie Parker tune on here with a lot of different time signature changes. See, I'm doing the whole video now. This is excellent. I think the sound is good, but it's a little bright or tinny. It's not as warm as the other two, and it's also but maybe I have to listen to it again. But I listened to all 3 all the way through. If I had to pick 2 out of 3, that would leave this one off. But if you're a Kenny Dorham fan, you like the performance, it's not a bad recording it by any stretch, but it's a little bright. It's not as warm and open as the other 2 records.
Well, here's the thing I always wanted them to do, and they started doing it last year, is they've been dropping songs pre-Record Store Day, so you can listen and decide, should I get this? I haven't listened to the Mingus, but there was one song from the Kenny Dorham and one from the.
And how do they
Freddie
sound to
Hubbard.
you?
The Freddie, I really like hardcore playing live, and the Freddie Hubbard kind of sounds like rock. You know what I mean?
Well,
like they're performing. In my feeling, this is my opinion, people. It feels like they're rock musicians. They're playing
literally
hard.
Says on fire, and
they're playing
fire.
hard.
Wow,
I love live jazz when they're jamming hard.
Yeah,
and that's what that Freddie Hubbard record.
Matt Luthens did 2 of these. Bernie Grunman did this one.
Well,
So they're very good. But I'd say, and they're not going to be cheap because the 3 record sets I think are probably around $80 or.
They're not cheap. But here's the deal, guys.
There are 3
from insider knowledge. Record Store Day has for the last several years have really turned down a lot of titles to not be part of Record Store Day. It was told to me that they're really not big. They're losing their love of these live jazz titles for some reason. So there is one title that's coming out from Elemental 2 weeks after, or in May, of Art Pepper. It's an element. It's like it walks and talks like these Record Store Day releases. But I don't know factually if they turned it down, but it looks like they did. And it might even be coming out in like UK for Record Store Day, but it's being released separately. And that title looks great to me. Because the smartest thing in the world Art Pepper and his wife did is they demanded, because all these tons of Art Pepper stuff is live. They were excellent recordings. They sounded awesome.
Yeah.
So,
hey, can we find out here, since we've got a lot of people in the peanut gallery?
yes.
Who's the son of a bitch in Portland that sold their Sharon is Karen album?
Yes.
To the used record store.
So apparently, Dr. Robert, who might pop up at the end, or at least later today, will apologize for not being here. Was able to pick up Louis' record, Sharon is Karen. Sharing is Karen.
Sharon.
Someone picked up, and Louis should know whose copy it was
because they're numbered.
Oh wow!
But I don't know if Louis wrote down the number. I just know the only thing Louis strategically
I can't find my copy for some reason. I looked.
Well, the only thing I know strategically that Louis did is he ensured that I got the highest number, or the number possible, from being one of the first to pre-order it. I got like the highest number. So we'll see. I don't know if he wrote down what number of people got.
I don't understand how my copy could have made it from Los Angeles all the way up to Portland, though.
Well, that was that late night trip you took to Portland.
It was a sealed copy too, which means the person didn't even listen to it who sold it.
Oh, that hurts even more.
I know. Well, no, but maybe not, because if they listen to it, they might. And, oh, I don't want this, and they sell it.
Yeah,
At
that's
least
true.
they can't say it's what is they deniability. What's the term?
Plausibility, deniable plausibility. or
Exactly.
some shit
That-
like
I
that.
know.
I
Plausible.
thought it was something else.
Plausible
Hey,
deniability.
I thought it was a Sharon Van Eaton record or whatever.
So Rob, I asked this question and you answered it, but I was watching Bosch Legacy and you went into the record parlor and you said
Yeah.
it's a shitty store.
the record parlor is a shitty store. It is around the corner from Amoeba, so that should tell you a lot. The guy buys collections, and he puts the shittiest records in the bins. They're horrible, and he overcharges for them. He does this unusual thing at least 3 or 4 times a year, where he has this sale. For $1, you get 100 records. Like in the back of his store, you could pull up and pay $1 for 100 shitty records. It just really, I talk with a guy who I meet in lines at record stores, who's a nice, good guy, and he occasionally will work there, and say, no, he gets good stuff in, but it seems like the guy, actually, this Jim knows this. It's a strategically placed store to pawn records on tourists. It's a store designed
But
it's
pawn
not even
records on what?
For
It's
tourists.
for tourists.
Oh,
There's a lot
the
of tourists. It's Hollywood tourist area. Plus,
Yeah, they go in there and they'll buy the shitty records. If you go to the front of the store, there are bins of dollar records. Here's a deal. Here's for me. Most people know, the people who choose to listen to the words that come out of my mouth, I'm all about digging. It's not even a pleasurable store to dig in. You feel sad in there.
We've got one of those here.
Yeah.
I have a great story about the owner, though. That guy sort of, I guess, disrespected me in such a way that it was unbelievable. In front of, it just was crazy. He used to run this ad with me, and it was a terrible ad. And I was asking him, why don't you change your ad? He gave me the ad to run. Horrible ad. So one day he calls it, I'm in his office, and he goes, my ad looks horrible. And I go, yeah, you should change it. And he calls a customer over and he goes, what do you think of this ad? Does this ad look as good as that ad? Customer goes, no. He goes, how much worse does it look? He goes, 50%. And he goes, well, then I think I should get a 50% discount. And I said, you think you should get a 50% discount on the ad you gave me? And you're doing this in front of your customer? And that was the last conversation I ever had with that guy.
Is he so he's a dick?
Well, I mean, you fill in the blanks. I can tell you this. He's got a guy that works for him. He's got a guy that works for him who's awesome, who's great.
It really is not a very good record store. It's not.
I have a friend who lives in a $1 million condo a block from there. And that guy's got more money than sense. And he was bragging to me a couple of years ago about how he walked over there and bought a used turntable or something. And it was just a hunk of shit for $500, man. He got so ripped off.
Hey, well, so Harry, here's something you could ask yourself while you're watching a TV show that uses that as a location. Means they have free time to allow that store to be used as a location.
Well, the reason they did it is because he had to sneak out without being followed, and he told his partner, he says, meet me at, what's the name of the place again?
The record parlor.
Meet me at the record parlor and I'll pick you up there. So, because in the series, Bosch is a big jazz guy,
right? They don't even have that. Here's another thing: their jazz section, not that great.
But they have a PR company. They do a lot of PR. The record parlor.
I don't know what that guy's deal is, but everyone knows there are two types of record store guys. There are nice guys, and there are bastards. So
Where do you fall in that in between?
I don't own a
those?
record store, Harry. If I owned a record store, I'd be a nice bastard.
I think you fall into a third category. Fucktardio.
How long has that store been around?
It's been around
10 years?
a number of years, maybe 10, 15 years.
Okay.
I remember when he started, he had a video company, and he literally started, he needed records for a video shoot. So he bought all these records that were basically, you know,
Shit.
they were for movies or something. They were props. And I met him when he was trying to get rid of all those. And from there, he went into the location he's in is pretty interesting.
Hey,
He must have some money if he was able to open a store there.
He's got dough.
Hey guys, so I put on podcasts when I go to sleep. I just listen to them. It helps me go to sleep. Tylis Welliver, who stars in Bosch, I believe he's a jazz fan. I'm gonna pull up which podcast he was on being interviewed because I cannot remember off the top of my head.
Someone just posted a picture of him at LAX with his wife or somebody, and he doesn't look very happy.
That dude has a great story where his dad was a painter, an artist, and his godfather, Harry, because Mazzy's not here, was involved with the Beatles.
Okay.
He was a producer. It was his godfather. He had a party as a 7-year-old kid. Tylis Welliver grew up in Manhattan, was there, and John Lennon was in the corner playing with a guitar. So he went up to John Lennon, and John Lennon goes, hey, he started singing. He was singing because at 7 he knew Beatles stuff. And he goes, you want to sing with me? And they were playing and singing together at this party. So he went to school. I don't know if it was the next day, and it was like show and tell. And he told a story. The story, I was singing with John Lennon, blah, blah, blah. Kids laughed at him. The teacher disciplined him and made a fool of him, saying, you're lying. It's not good to come in here and make up stories.
Much like this stream.
This is why I talk like I know Mazzy. No, you don't. So basically what happened is word got back to John Lennon that this had happened.
Now
John Lennon demanded that the principal of his school call an assembly and write things that this actually happened. He wrote a letter.
No.
Wow.
Cool. Go listen to the. He told
I'm
it on
not buying this.
Art Garfunkel told my principal the same thing.
No. Okay, who was the guy? Tony something. I'm going to send you a link to this interview.
Visconti.
That was Tony Barrow. Tony Barrow.
He was in New York. He was involved with the Beatles, but
Tony Barrow's one of the publicists.
He was Titus Welliver's godfather. God, whatever it is.
They probably just beat him up because his name was Titus.
No, dude.
Oh,
I'm going to send you a link. Why listen to the podcast?
Okay, so going back to Matt's question, what kind of speakers does Bosch use? Because I've noticed them in the show, and they're pretty cool looking, but I'm not sure what they are.
I don't remember. The thing about him is he always played like the Irish villain. Like I think he was on the motorcycle series, Sons of Anarchy, for a while, and he played the bad Irish gang guy, head of something. And I had thought he was an Irish actor for years. I didn't know he was an American because he does great accents. He was in Deadwood too, yeah.
Taylor Sheridan was on Sons of Anarchy too.
He wrote it, didn't he? No, am I wrong?
So was what's the big punk poet guy from the LA punk scene? The guy does the monologues.
You mean Henry Rollins?
Charles Bukowski.
Henry Rollins was on one season of Sons of Anarchy too. Yeah.
I'm pulling up this podcast and you better listen to it. Jeez. That's the trouble with listening.
Mazzy, did you get your promo up yet for the whatnot?
Oh, okay. It's the Rob Lowe podcast. I'm going to put it in the chat. Go listen to it. He tells the story of him, John Lennon is here. It is right here. Look in the description.
Okay, send that link out.
Singing with John Lennon as a kid, the time. So it's a real story, dude.
Okay. That should be in Record Collector News.
Well, I don't know. It would be written by the staff if it was.
There's a staph infection.
Hey, now, Jim, did you just lose a bet to put that stupid hat on?
Huh?
Hey, Dagan, I'll be in Canada. I'll be in Vancouver next week, and we're trying to do a Thursday afternoon meetup at Neptune. But if you're not there, I can just pick some random guy and pretend it's you, Dagan.
Mazzy, now if they detain you and don't let you back in the country, can I first pick at your records?
No, you have to talk to the archivist. Now listen to me. I have to pick up a sympathy card today at Walgreens, and I'm going to hand it to the border control guy when I cross over. I'm serious, and I want to say, look, I just want to apologize. Not all Americans are fuckheads and hate the Canadians. Like a lot of us
Harry,
love you, Canadians.
Harry, here's the speakers.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they are, but they're pretty cool looking. I wonder what they sound like.
Those ohm speakers, they kind of direct up. They're omnidirectional.
Is it only for listening to meditation music?
That's for showing off. No, they're great, man. Those can be very good. Steve.
Now, I don't remember in the storyline. How did he afford that fucking modernist house?
He's a dirty cop.
No. Here's actually, if you're a fan of Bosch,
I think it was a settlement, right?
No, it wasn't a settlement. He sold the rights to make a movie of him. That's how he bought the house. It was the money he made for the movie.
But it needed a lot of foundation work.
After an earthquake.
Right.
It had to be refitted.
See, I wouldn't buy a house on a cliff in any California.
And I do not like the actress that plays his daughter. I'm sorry. I don't like her. I don't think she's a good actress.
Here's the deal with the Bosch. 10 years he's been playing it. I don't understand. They did the original series 7 years of the first series. When he left being a cop, they changed it to Bosch Legacy. Now it ends after 3 seasons.
Supposedly.
Well, in this season currently, they introduce another character that Michael Donnelly writes, is a female cop. She's introduced, and then after this,
a spinoff,
right? Which Bosch will be in that. So
I heard that it's because of money. They don't want to pay these reoccurring characters, so they're doing spinoffs where they get cameos.
No. Well, actually, you're sort of right. The fact that they do a new series changes it.
And the Lincoln Lawyer, by the way, is Bosch's brother.
Right, but here's the problem with that.
Know
that. The series of Lincoln Lawyer is on Netflix.
But he's a Latin guy.
Hold on.
I think one of them was adopted.
Let me finish talking. It's his half brother. So they are brothers, but the I think they've done 3 seasons of Lincoln Lawyer. From what I know, the second season, the book, Harry Bosch is in that book, but in the series, they made it another character completely.
I like the Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah, I guess they can't do a crossover because they're different networks, right?
Right, it's different productions. But
Marvel Universe and DC.
Michael Connelly's involved with both.
Will there be a Bosch in heaven after when he's?
I don't know. The first season, if you haven't watched it, the first season of Bosch is good, but it gets so much better after that. So stick with it.
And they have Tom
Cruise. He kind of turned into a dirty cop.
Tom Cruise's first wife is in it.
Wolfie's got those ohm speakers. Wow, very cool. Much respect.
I don't know. Michael Connelly came to LA as a reporter, but he loves LA. That's why he writes all about it. He's a big LA lover.
Randy Newman loves LA too.
Michael Conley writes about the LA that I know. That's the LA I know. It's a great place.
Can't stand it.
Well, because
Well,
you're here.
I'm
And you make-
excited because Sunday night's the final episode of White Lotus. That's been a ride, boy.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, Jim. Jim
Yes,
has
sir.
two different. He labels you as two different types of people: worthy to be a part of the RCN staff, or not worthy to be part of the
Correct.
RCN.
That's true.
And the last episode in 1923 is this weekend. I'm looking forward to that. Getting that.
Has anyone watched that new series, Mobland, yet?
I'm not going to watch any more of Taylor Sheridan's shit. I'm tired of him.
Hey, I watched
I'm
Adolescence.
sick of his shit.
Holy crap, that was a ride.
Is that okay? It's a British show with the kid?
Yeah,
kid?
it is.
Okay,
Where every episode's one continuous shot.
I know. I only watched the first episode so far. Did you finish it?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch
Best
it
thing
because I've heard it's
Best thing
very
I've seen on
depressing.
TV in a few years.
Okay, I'll finish it. I love British detective things, and it starts out intense.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously, it's so depressing that I got so much shit going on. This depression in my life right now. I don't want to watch TV about it. I'm tired of
I know,
listening
that kind of
I
stuff
know.
argue
gives me
and
a
fight.
I hear you.
escapism for
Hey,
me.
I hear you. But this was worth it.
Harry, why
And
don't
it
we
gets worse.
Harry, we'll live stream together. We'll FaceTime or Zoom, and we'll watch Powderpuff Girls.
Yeah, I did like the first 2 episodes of The Studio.
No, because you'll have your pants off.
Okay, here's my problem with the studio, and I've been this way historically. Stop making entertainment TV and movies about the entertainment industry. No one gives a shit. They don't.
People like it. It's
They don't. That is an overly critically praised show. I don't know if it's making a dent into just the general people who watch it.
Most of the good American shows are remakes of
people
British
like
stuff.
the studio TV
A lot of them
show.
are. That's
Well, okay, you don't have to go to. Let me show you how to use something, Mazzy. Can I show
Sherry's
you?
watching Bad Sisters. Anyone watching Bad Sisters?
Oh, that's
Speaking
great.
of British,
Yeah.
where's Rob?
The
Rob
first
lately? I
season
haven't seen him.
is the best season. It's only been on 2 seasons. Bad Sisters is great.
All right, let me show you something that you can use to gauge what the general public thinks. Okay,
Well,
Mazzy?
I like it. I don't care about the
Rotten Tomatoes. Right there, you have the tomato score, which is an aggregate of major critics, 95. Then you have the popcorn score of the general public. See the discrepancy?
Yeah, but 68 is pretty high for Rotten Tomatoes.
68 is low. It is low. It's still
It's
whatever
better than
they call
Trump's approval rating.
Okay, let's go to a show. Let's go to Bosch and see what the difference is. Okay.
Trump's approval rating is better than Democrats' approval rating.
Rob, I want you to compare 2 movies on there. It's the same movie, but one is British and one is U.S. And the British one is so much better. It's called Death at a Funeral at a Death at a Funeral. I think.
The British
Well,
is better.
actually,
the British one is fantastic.
Actually, Harry, you're talking to someone who tested each version because it's the same producers. And you know what they did? They didn't change the script. They didn't rewrite it. They did the script. So technically the British version is not British. It was American produced, but took place in England. So, and
I think it's a superior film.
It was directed by Frank Oz from the Muppets or whatever. And there is one character that's the same in both movies. That's Peter Dinklage. So I tested both and they tested great. One's with Chris Rock. So I'll pull up both. But
one's a black centric character.
And one's directed by Neil, the black version is directed by Neil Butte, who is white and a Mormon, believe it or not.
But it's one of the British one is one of the funniest things I've seen.
It is.
But the script's exactly the same.
Yeah, but the actors are so much better, I think.
Okay, so actually the British one, so that is a good example. The popcorn scores higher than the critics score of the British.
Okay. And that's the British one. What about the U.S.?
It's not the British one; it's the white one.
The white one. Okay.
That happens to take place in Britain, in
Yeah.
England.
Yeah. Although the writer, okay, here's the black one, and even worse.
Yeah. See.
That's rare because
I mean, they even spill their popcorn.
yeah, that's rare because that never really happens. But again, my point, that studio show, people don't want to see crap about the movie industry. They
Well,
don't.
I loved it. Okay. So
Well, okay. You're an elitist, so it makes
He's
sense.
not a people.
Ooh. And I like the British Office better than the U.S. Office.
Ricky
Well,
Gervais.
Oh, yeah.
I love Ricky
here's
Gervais
another
stuff.
point.
but they pulled off the
They're
American
two
one.
completely different shows.
They are. They are.
And you know
I
what?
like them both.
Here, let me tell you something, Harry.
Okay.
You know
listen, I'm listening.
Ricky Gervais?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
He made way more money off the U.S. office
Oh,
than
I'll
he did
bet.
off the British.
Hey,
Plus
Stephen.
he's
Well,
going to-
it's just like Doobie Brothers made more money with Michael McDonald, but it doesn't make them better.
Yeah. Stephen, a lot of the records
you
we're
better,
getting
you
that
better
are
not take
pressed,
that attitude to
a
the
lot of these
street.
records we get are pressed in Europe. I mean, unless they're pressed locally, prices will go up on everything because a lot like
Jefferson Cigar Shop.
all the Rhino hi-fis are pressed in Europe. You know,
Hey,
the American.
where do our kumquats come from? Are they shipped
I will,
into the
Elliot.
U.S.?
You know where ginseng comes from?
Where?
China.
Minnesota. Seriously.
Oh, close.
Well,
Goes
I
in
with
Wisconsin.
all the
I think it's
ginseng I
Wisconsin.
buy,
They grow
thank
a
God.
lot of good
You know,
ginseng in
and
Wisconsin.
I'll let you people know. You know what Jim does to the RCN staff? He tries to get them to. He shovels ginseng into them.
Yeah.
It's like a slave.
What I do, one thing they all have to do is everyone needs to pick up a little bit of chicken shit. A little bit. There's a lot of crap around here in the back. We like to keep it clean.
Hold on.
Pick
What
up the poo.
did Cesar say? Where's Cesar's comment?
You know, I love the
Higher.
Brits. I love British humor, but the only fucked up thing is tea. Tea doesn't matter. Tea is nothing.
Cesar's correct on that
Tea
one.
is,
Sorry.
as Rob says, tea is the only good thing about tea is when you're sick or eat Chinese
Yeah.
food. That's
Tea
it.
is for,
That's not
Tea is
true.
like why
Actually,
bother?
we're gonna have
Why
tea
bother
today.
drinking anything?
Jim and I are
Obviously,
gonna have
you've
tea.
never had tea.
Jim,
Correct.
Tea. I've had a
You
lot
got to
of
get
tea.
the right kind of tea. You've got to
hold
steep
on.
it at the
You
right
want to know one thing
temperature
that
for
never
the right
happens
amount
at
of
Jim's
time.
house? There's no tea time at Jim's house, so shut up, Jim.
No.
But
If-
me
if
and Jim
you're-
are gonna have tea today
Yeah,
because we're gonna go
flavored
eat
water.
Jim's.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of The Office, watch a new show out. It's called Saint Denis. Takes
Oh, yeah.
place in a hospital, but it's just like The Office. Very, very good.
I mean, shit.
Hey, hold on, Craig. Do you feel more important that you do drink tea?
Now, here's a question,
And
though.
why
If
do
you're
you take a
drinking tea, do
fucking
you
break
have to hold your little pinky finger out when
You
drinking
take a
it?
break at 4 o'clock to drink like just hot water with a little flavoring in it. It's like, why bother?
Oh, hold on. Here, okay. I'm gonna tell you something, Mazzy. I do agree with the hot tea, but there's nothing better. Do you think in England someone sits down and goes, "I'll have an Arnold Palmer"? Nothing
Nothing
beats a
better
good
than
Arnold Palmer.
Arnold
An iced
Palmer. my
tea,
friend.
an iced tea with lemon is good on a hot day.
Arnold
No
Palmer,
lemon.
the
How about
best drink,
sun tea?
the best drink
Sun
you
tea.
can get.
Obviously, Mazzy records. He's got 7,000 records. When
The
it comes
best
to
drink-
tea, he don't know shit.
The best drink
We've got
you
a
can
whole
get.
cupboard full of
Arnold
tea
Palmer.
downstairs.
I got
trust me.
tea. I got tea when people need tea here. Yeah.
When they're sick.
We've
'Cause
got a
usually-
special tea
actually,
pot that
It makes sense
heats
that
it to the
Mazzy
right
has lots
temperature
of
for the right
tea.
type of tea.
It makes sense that Mazzy has lots of tea because people instantly become sick in his house. They need it.
Yeah.
Hold on. See?
Oh.
Arnold Palmer, half tea, iced tea, and half lemonade. Best drink.
And
Thank you
stick
very
a little
much.
vodka in it. Yeah.
Cuppa. It's always cuppa, huh?
Mazzy only has 1 cup of coffee a day, so that's fucking weird.
I always have one, occasionally 2, and that's it. I rarely have 3. I used
So
to.
Okay.
obviously, severe mental disorder. can't be trusted.
Well, that's why I buy Grafeo.
Control freak, total control freak.
Well, that's why I buy the Grafeo. It's more expensive, but I don't drink a ton of it, so it adds up working out.
Yeah, so I buy the Grafeo and I drink a ton of it. So thank you very much.
My favorite drink, iced coffee. I went to England, and Craig, maybe you can tell me this. I asked for an iced coffee. There were literally 3 ice cubes in the cup.
Wow,
what's it like the Vietnamese iced coffee?
Why don't they make ice in England? What's going on?
They drink their beer warm. Come on.
No, not necessarily.
3 ice cubes.
I've tried all those teas, and they're good with Chinese food and Japanese food. Tea with Japanese and Chinese food. That's the only time you should drink tea when you're not sick.
And you have to have toast and marmalade with tea.
Can I answer this for Vance? Especially since you're probably around my age. You shouldn't have the sugar. So the Arnold Palmer Zero is the one to get. No sugar. Low sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar's
You know, Dan B, every fucking thing's going to go up. Because you know something? American cars, not one car is made in America 100%. Not one. Tell me one car that all the parts 100% are made in America. None.
No.
Which car do you think is the most made in America, though?
Toyota.
No. Close.
Honda.
Close.
Honda.
Fjord.
What?
Ford has them. From what I understand, Ford has the most American parts,
but not 100%.
Followed by Toyota and Honda.
You know what Ford? You know how they got the name Ford? It stands for fix or repair daily,
or found on road dead.
And remember, Pinto is
fix it again.
Pain and net to own. Yeah.
Fiat. I had a Fiat. That was fix it again.
I'll never buy anything but a Toyota.
I would buy a 67 Mustang in a heartbeat if I could.
Well, I'd buy any of the Mopar muscle cars, but
hey,
that's a different era.
Do you pour it in your lap while you listen?
The bitchinest thing about living in Los Angeles is cars don't fall apart. You see every day, you see classic cars on the road. It's like driving around in a museum, you know. It's really cool.
68 Charger would be my idea, or a Cuda or a Barracuda.
A lot of people
Cuda or a Roadrunner. Those are fucking great.
A lot of people are putting different brands on the back of various.
I saw some Teslas with no badge, and no badge.
I don't mind the Tesla, but the Cybertruck. Fuck those. If you bought a Cybertruck, you're a fucking Nazi.
They're really
Teslas are awesome. Cybertrucks.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem they're not talking about with the Cybertrucks. They're horribly made. Secondly, a lot of insurance companies will not take that on.
Right.
Because if you crash into another car, you're going to kill someone with those things.
A Cybertruck is basically like a $4,000 battery on wheels.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, 4,000 pounds.
And I understand, Harry, you might like this about the Cybertruck. It makes good toast, and you can bake a potato in it.
Exactly. Oh man.
How about what other Fords do I like?
No one's taking them in as trade-ins. Dealerships are not accepting them as trade-ins.
Well,
I think some of these people that say their cars are vandalized and burned, I think that's the owner toasting them so they can get insurance money.
Yeah, insurance on it.
I don't condone people doing
me either. Don't fucking do that. That's
hey, wait, everyone.
But I don't feel sorry for that.
I need everyone to know this. Mazzy's not condoning violence. He's not.
No, I'm not.
I don't blame the people that have.
I don't condone it either, but I understand it. Yeah. If I was going to be a mass murderer, I would want to be like.
Hey, look, my car, awesome. Those Chevy Bolts, go get one. Those are great cars.
You know, I had a Pinto for 6 years, and it was great. And before we knew they had exploded.
Green.
I totally can see you in a Pinto
wagon.
That was that's
back in the day.
Yeah, it was.
Mazzy used to like to drive his Pinto
because that was the first time. One of the first.
Your opinion, Brian. You're entitled to it.
Americans started seeing, well, we can make small cars too, like Volkswagen. It wasn't exactly like a Volkswagen, but
the Vega. Remember the Vega?
Oh yeah, the Vega, Chevy Vega.
They weren't making
aluminum block and an iron head, and all they did is warp.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the other way around.
The Gremlin.
Aluminum
Gremlin.
head.
How about a friend of mine?
Gremlin.
What's the Ford? Back in the 80s, they had the big Ford. They were so bad.
Maverick.
The
Maverick
trannies would
70s.
go out. They had warehouses full of trannies. Car had a 50,000 mile warranty, and the tranny would go out at 40,000 miles, and then it would go out again and again and again. And they just had warehouses full of trannies.
See, I worked for Firestone for 11 years as a mechanic, store manager. I've done it all in there. And the cars that we never saw come in with problems were Toyotas. They come in for regular maintenance, but anything Jeep, Chrysler, especially Jeep and Chrysler, those things just fell apart.
Especially
and
now.
They shouldn't.
No, they fucked those up.
Hey, I think the good thing to know is that Wolfie owned a Ford Escort. Thank you.
I had a 78 Corolla SR5 liftback. That was my second car after the Pinto.
I had a
In high
93
school-
Toyota Supra.
I had a Tercel
20
hatchback.
years.
In
I had
high
a
school,
Toyota Tercel hatchback.
in high
with
school, my friend said, "I'm coming over in my vet, my Chevette."
I'll tell you, I've driven Corvettes, man, and they are a rough ride.
Hey,
It
hey.
is like
So it's a grand day today because we will not get a message later today from Dr. Robert that he's sorry he couldn't come up because he's here.
Hey, Doc.
Hey guys.
the coolest vehicle I ever drove, and I drove it when I worked for Firestone because we had to put tires on it. I drove the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Shut the front door.
Oh, wow.
I did.
Wow.
It was
So,
on a
Harry,
Pontiac,
Harry,
big Pontiac body.
Harry, you have the
Wow.
rare ability with conviction to say you've been inside a wiener.
That's right.
Been in the dick. I mean, the wiener. Huh. My favorite car was a 67 Volkswagen Westphalia camper with louvered windows. Couldn't go over 55 miles an hour if you wanted it
Has
to.
anyone driven the new electric Volkswagen van?
I've seen them on the road. I've
They're
talked to
kinda
people.
cool looking.
Those are not cheap cars.
Oh, they're like
Awesome.
70 grand.
They're cool looking. I love the
Yeah.
way. But
They're
the inside
supposed
is
to be
very
amazing
boring.
to drive. Just
Are
a
they all
killer
electric or
drive.
hybrid?
They're
These
electric.
are all electric.
I'd like
I
to
saw
try
one
that.
at the Seattle Auto Show.
I'd like to, yeah. I'd like to try to convince Volkswagen to loan me one for a month and pay me a expense account and do like a upper West Coast record store, record collectors, and do whole videos using the Volkswagen van as like the
What a great
lifestyle
idea.
brand. That would be
So
a cool
my
thing.
Westphalia, when I sold it, it had this thing. There was schmutz in the gas tank, and about every 800 miles or so, the schmutz would go into the fuel line. So you'd pull the fuel line off the carburetor and blow until you heard bubbles in the gas tank, and then put it back on. You're good for another 1,000 miles. I sold that fucking car. The guy I sold it to calls me up. The car died on the way home. What's up? I said, oh, you got to pull the thing off and blow into the until you hear bubbles. That was in September. I got a Christmas card from that guy telling me he was driving across Canada, and every 800 miles he just pull the thing, the fuel line off and blow until he heard bubbles, and it worked fine. So that's my favorite Volkswagen.
Speaking of blowing,
So you hold on. So I can be correct on this, Jim. You honed your blowing skills on a VW bus.
And you don't drink the gas. You
Yeah.
But the thing of it is it's not really a blow job. You don't really, you don't blow. What
That-
you're
you know
talking
what?
about.
Actually, that's
That
exactly what someone who
That's
does
not-
blowjobs would say.
Well, I
I'm-
just want to straighten you out.
I'm
completely
questioning.
different.
I'm questioning whether it was a wise choice to get on this stream right now.
Well,
so a guy walks in a bar and the
I'm sure
bartender
by the time you're done, Dr. Robert, we'll have more questions than you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Guy walks in a bar
Harry.
No, oh, go ahead.
and the bartender says, "What do you have?" And the guy says, "Well, don't give me what you gave me last night." He says, "I drank that. I went home. I blew chunks." The guy says, "Well, I'm sorry." He says, "No, you don't understand. Chunks is my monkey."
Oh, God. Well, I will say, Jim, my first car that I bought, my first car I got from my dad was an old Delta 88, 1966, and that thing could roar.
Nice.
Yeah, that thing could roar. But the first car that I bought myself was a VW bus.
Oh yeah, what year?
I had a 72, which was the first year they had dual carbs or dual. They kind of had dual heads, dual carbs in the on the thing, and I did. It's really I haven't done it with any other car. At that time, I had time and I didn't have money, and I redid the carbs. I dropped the engine and had it rebuilt and reinstalled it.
Do we have a troll there, Rob?
Oh, where?
Just wondering. CVen 1?
No.
Okay.
No, I did mention condoms in my
No.
He does have
merch
condoms.
store, Magic
But we're
Condoms.
we're kind of troll free today, which by saying that we'll make it sure that we're
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, now they'll come out. At any rate, I loved that car, and I sold it for pretty much what I bought it for. I had it 8 years, and I went everywhere in it, camped in it, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, we used to. That was great.
I had one Volvo, a wagon in the, was it 90s or 2000s? I guess 2004. I had the V90. Is that it? The wagon V90. That was a great car.
I had a
Supposed to be the
Volvo.
safest car on the road.
Yeah, that's when I was
had a
leasing
Volvo.
for my business.
The air conditioning compressor fell off while I was driving. Clunk, 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 clunk on the freeway. I pulled over, put it in the trunk of my car, and they put it back on and it worked again. I mean, that's how good Volvos are.
If it was that good, it wouldn't have fallen off.
Yeah, I got a question. Those
Well,
VW
you know.
those VW buses look like always they were going to tip over, but it seems like the new one has a better center of gravity thing.
I had a friend who had a VW bus, and we took our Volkswagen buses into the dirt, and we were drunk. We tried to roll our vans. He was successful. He went over on one side and broke every fucking window in his car.
Yikes!
Yeah. I didn't. I wasn't quite that drunk.
I think you're lucky.
Okay, here's another one. The night I left home, see a mom, see a dad, 9 o'clock at night. I'm driving up Highway 101, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's pouring rain. I'm going up a hill. I got it floored. I get to the top of the hill. I let my foot off the gas. It stays floored. I don't know shit about cars. I pull over to the side of the road. Wah! I turn the engine off, pull over to the side. I get out there with my flashlight, and I immediately notice there's a spring missing on the carburetor. I take the ponytail out of my hair. I put it where the spring was, and I drove that fucking car for 6 months with a rubber band.
No, not
just.
Just
Well, wait.
not the
And then I took
ponytail,
it to a mechanic, and he goes, "What is going on here?" I said, "Oh, I forgot." That's true story, guys.
No.
I fixed my van.
I think
with a rubber
that
band.
story is hard to believe, especially that you ever had a ponytail.
You know, Elliot, it sounds like your daughter has a lemon because Volvos are really great, but I had 4 Audis in a row. And the first one, I think it was the first one, had major problems. And Audi, after like 6 months, had to do a buyback, because it was in there after so many days. It's a hassle because it's there for a month, and they finally bought it back, and I got another Audi, but it was just one of those lemons. They kept trying to fix it and they couldn't. There was a fuel pump things or something was going on. It would stall out. Yeah.
True story, folks.
Okay.
I am not a mechanic, no, but it is serious hippie shit. 17.
An audio driver.
I bought that book. It was by John Muir.
Complete Idiot.
Yeah.
I think I still have it.
I loved it. I mean, I loved it. It's a hippie book.
I remember trying to adjust the valves on my Volkswagen with that book, and then driving to the mechanic with it going ka-bang, 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 bang. Yeah, I tried to fix it again.
Man, those are the good times when you could actually work on your own car.
And even if you fucked it up, you can still get it to the mechanic. And
Those were
but I
the
knew
good
nothing
times.
about cars.
Harry, today You can't work on your own car. You can't do it.
You can. You've got to have all kinds of computerized equipment just to
Even
diagnose the
mechanics stuff,
problem.
they just get the part. They just
Exactly.
they just order the thing that they plug in.
Yeah.
It's plastic.
So I got
right.
a question.
Yes.
I got a question for the panel. So, I think I've talked about this. We've talked about record cleaning here a lot, I know, but
Hey, Brian.
hey, Brian.
Hey there.
So my record cleaner, I started with a glass record cleaner. Must have been 10 years ago. It was the first one I bought. First one I had cleaned 4,000 records and broke down. They gave me a replacement for less than half the cost of a new one. Of the first one, that cleaned 5,000 records or more before it broke down, and they gave me the same exchange. But now since then, I've had two that broke that I've sent back after only like 100 records, and now I've been sitting here. They keep promising me one. I've been sitting here without a record cleaner for going on 5 months.
Why do you keep with that same brand? Why didn't you just?
Because they give me a good deal. They give me a
They-
good
they-
deal.
The good deal is
breaking.
$2,000 more is a good deal.
The good deal that they're giving
Just
you.
buy a
Here's the thing.
Guru. Shit, you could buy 4 of them for that.
You could buy
Yeah.
10
Can I
Humming Gurus.
Can I hold
I
on?
could-
Can I bring a reality into this? Dr.
Yeah.
Robert, you literally answer your own questions when you come up here. I think you just do this so we make fun of you. But I would say I would
Look,
stick.
Robert,
I would
Dr.
stay
Robert.
away.
wrong on both counts.
What brand are you talking about?
I said it's a glass audio desk. It's a
Called
German
glass.
machine.
Audio
Yeah, but
desk.
that audio
Can I answer Dr.
Audio
Robert's
desk.
Hold on.
question?
I'm not. The audio desk is not a true record cleaner.
Well,
Yes,
it's
it
not
is.
truly
It
ultrasonic.
vacuums liquid off of your record.
It's not ultrasonic, perhaps. And somebody has
Why
told me
don't
that
you
it's
just go get? I mean,
it does an excellent job cleaning the
No,
records.
why
I have
don't
no.
you just
The thing
look,
about
you
the
have
audio
the-
desk is
you have the
Doc,
dough. Just go get a degritter. Buy the nice
here's the
one.
thing.
Yeah,
The
I
audio
may do a
desk-
degree.
The audio desk does is just a piece of shit. And if it
Yeah.
wasn't for you, they wouldn't be around anymore.
Well,
you
that's
can
what
go
mine-
get
Whoa.
you can go get a
You're
5
harsh.
different other ones that
Yeah.
don't break down. The one to get, although it's not for you, is the weird guy with the jacket. What's it called again?
Kermit?
Yeah, the Kermis. Kermis is bought probably, if you want to clean a record, the best, but it
Too many
doesn't dry.
steps.
It doesn't dry them. I've been
It takes
looking
forever
online.
to do it.
So
Dr. Robert, I'd like to be the one who just tells it like it is to people, literally.
I've
The
never
audio
noticed.
desk is something you could make yourself. It's a vacuum
Yeah.
cleaner.
Here's the thing,
It's
Doc.
not- Shut,
I
Jim,
will sell
shut,
you.
Jim.
I will sell him
Jim.
mine.
Hold on, Jim.
Oh, we have a
Here's
staff
what I'm going to
infection.
do.
Yeah.
I want to get a word out without Jim interrupting me.
Oh, you poor guy. Keep going.
All right, Dr. Robert, it's
Brian
have
hasn't said a word
you
since he got
have
here.
4 replacements of a glorified vacuum cleaner.
Okay,
Go buy a real ultrasonic cleaner.
and Robert,
Whatever.
Dr. Robert,
Whatever.
I'm your
If you don't
buddy,
make
I'm your
it without a
friend.
hat.
You could have told us the same story about your amplifier and getting fucked up with that company. Buy a new amplifier and a new record cleaner.
I've already made that decision. I'm just, hey,
Hey, you know what? I literally think we found the
You-
polar opposite of Dr. Robert. It's Jack. Jack is the literal polar opposite of you. He owns a
So hard.
degritter
I
that's
can't read it.
working fine.
Oh, he's degritter. Well, I've looked at all the ones online. I'm trying to decide what to get. But
I
I'm
mean,
also pushing them to
personally-
give me a refund.
You
You
Personally,
got a
I'm
fucking
not
audit.
having to
All
charge
record
the
collectors are
Humming
in here telling you,
Yeah, well,
not just me.
I came here for advice. Is that
In-
so
with
wrong?
your
one
budget,
that,
you came
your
here,
budget,
you came here to
DeVito
be
has.
yelled at.
with your budget, the degritter's the way to go. I think. With your,
Okay.
yeah, most people
Well-
I would tell get a Humming Guru. but your
Wrong.
budget-
Bad idea. I've got one for you. It's $2,000. It's a version of the
Isn't that the Kermis?
no. It's
Hey, these are going to cost 25% more next week.
It's
So
my
buy
own.
it now.
Yeah.
I will sell you my Humming Guru for $2,000, and that thing will last longer.
I'll tell you
than
what,
your
that is $400.
autoglass.
Bob,
Hey,
bring your records with you next time you come, and for $1,000, I'll clean them.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? You know, well, okay. You may be over promising there. I'm behind. Like I'm almost 1,000 records behind. So,
Okay, well,
but
I'm not saying when you'll get them back, but
yeah, got
I'll
it.
clean them.
Got it. Well, I was thinking of the other one is the Claudio, right? Which is the highest end, I think.
Yeah,
And
but
that's what,
Is that the
doesn't
one the
dry.
in-groove has?
Audio doesn't dry the records,
yeah, it does.
does it?
Yes,
I think it does. That's the one that Mike Esposito likes the best.
I
Aren't
think
they like
Dr. Robert,
eight
I
to
think
10
you should
grand
get
a
a
piece?
degritter.
Right?
You're totally a degritter guy.
DeGritter
Yeah.
seems right to me too. I've looked at them all online. That's the one I'm leaning towards. So
Yeah, but don't ever buy something that you could literally make yourself.
So how many times have you
Back
bought?
on direct.
How many times have you bought the the auto glass? How many times
Well,
have you bought it?
I've had 4 machines now.
So you paid
and-
full once and half 3 times.
No, half twice.
So that's $8 grand, right?
So you bought 2 of them.
Let me see. Actually, yeah, I bought half
You
twice,
paid-
less than half twice. So I paid. It's about $7 grand for all
You
of them.
could have bought a Ukraine wife for half that price.
I've cleaned 12,000 records with these.
Whatever you do,
That too
stay
too
the
soon?
path.
Whatever.
Stick with it.
I don't know. But I can't believe they can't get me a new one now. I just it's
Hey,
just so.
Dr. Robert.
Why wouldn't you believe that? They've never been able to come through
Whatever.
with anything.
Here's the deal. You don't come here for advice. You need tough love. Drop the shit. Throw all the audio desks that you have in your house in the trash. Go buy a degritter. You'll be so much happier.
Okay.
The
Put it
thing is,
in.
you won't have a story to tell.
I feel much better now. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
doctor,
you.
when you're putting a bolt in someone's spine to attach it to their skull, numbskull, right? And after 3 tries, the bolt is bad. Wouldn't you try a different bolt company instead of trying that 4th bad bolt?
Well, if I was a
I
patient,
never had
I'd
that
try a
happen.
different doctor.
Okay, Mazzy, let me help you out with your analogy to medical science.
That never
Dr.
happened.
Robert, remember when you used to say to the nurse, more suction?
Hurry up, more suction. We have
when
to
you-
go perform surgery later.
Yeah.
You guys are off on that island again that you go to every now and then. That is not
Where did
reality.
Brian go?
I don't know
think
where
he
he
was
went.
Brian?
trying to
Brian?
get I'm going to guess he was trying to get a word in edgewise and he couldn't. Brian,
Well,
come
that's
back.
the nature of this show.
Yeah.
What number
Oh, wait,
is that?
wait, we've been waiting for this.
Yeah,
Wait.
I know. I saw something in the peanut
Okay.
gallery.
So I thought you were making a joke, Dr. Robert. Can you explain to us how you got that copy of Sharon is Karen?
Yeah, no. So I was in Dig Records.
Well, what is it? Yeah or no?
Dig what? It's a Dig Records over in Selwood neighborhood of Portland. It's one of my favorite stores here. It's run by Scott Thayer. He's a great guy. At any rate, this was in the new arrivals bin. I was just thumbing through, and you can see it's number. What have I got? Number
Was it
one.
sealed?
Was it new arrival new records or new arrival used?
No, it was open, but it was still in shrink.
Oh,
I mean,
it was
it only-
open.
yeah, it's been played once. I think it's only been out a few months, right? So, at any rate, there's
So
Louis Golden.
he didn't order it. For the store guy didn't order it directly.
No, definitely not. This came in as a used record,
Did
and
you check for fingerprints?
DNA.
Who do we know in Portland that might have gotten the record?
well, I guess Mark Wald would be one. I don't know.
I don't think Mark knows Louis.
Yeah, I don't know. But there it was. And I actually texted Scott and said, hey, my buddies kind of want to know who bought this. And he does have sometimes some records of who he got used records from. So,
But you need a warrant before he'll show it to you.
I don't think it's,
Privacy. He shouldn't tell you who he bought it
well,
from.
it's not that
What you
kind
do is
of
you break in the
formality.
store after they close, and you go through his records, the paper records, and you find out who it was, and then you leave, and they never even know you were there.
Well, thank you for that advice, but I think what we should do is say it's a damn good record, and congratulations to Louis. It's really Louis's record. I mean, there's
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, you know what I
Louis
have to
Gold.
say to you, Dr. Robert, on behalf of Louis? thank you for supporting Louis by getting a record directly from him.
Yeah, right.
God, you're really dumping on the doc today, Rob.
Hey, it's tough love. It's
Oh
tough
my
love.
God. Hey,
Tough love
you know,
with the wax.
I'm a digger. I'm a digger. What can I tell you?
Dr. Robert, you seem like usually a reasonable dude. It's hysterical to me that you've gone through 3 audio deaths.
Four. I've gone through
Four.
four.
Karen
Four.
Sharon is
Four.
Louis. Louis is that's his record.
Louis Golden.
Sharon is Karen, or Karen is Sharon. Which is it? I always forget.
It's Karen is Sharon. Sharon is Karen.
Sharon is Karen. Okay.
Yeah. So, at any rate, that phrase is out there, by the way, on Discogs, but this is the only record by that, you know, him calling himself
He's
that.
working on a new record now, by the way.
Yeah, cool. Well, again, hats off to Louis. It's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, it's great. It's good.
Yes.
It's kind of
And
power
Dr. Robert's
poppy.
deeply sorry for not initially supporting you.
It's a
Oh,
rock and roll power pop record. A lot of grit in it. A lot of like layers of
Okay,
guitars.
retail.
yeah.
I was
good.
full supporter of
It's
the
rock and
artist
roll.
as opposed to buying it used at the record store.
Well, maybe Marty's the one
That's
that
how I
sold
roll.
it. Marty, did you order it directly from Louis?
He would. I don't think Marty would have. Well, maybe. Who knows?
Marty's saying
Right.
he went. No, Marty's saying he went to Dig. It's a great record store. So there you go.
I'm not sure. I've been to Dig out of all the stores.
It's. I'll take you there if you want. It really is a good store.
No, I'd like to
Yeah.
go there. It's not the
Yeah.
one someone bought it from someone else. Is that the one?
No.
How old is that store? It's not an old store.
Yeah, not that old, but I think it's got to be going on 10 years.
Is that the one near the
Really?
airport? Is it near the
No.
airport?
No, that's another one I really like. That's called Jump Records. That's the
Okay.
Dan. He runs it out of his house.
Is
Isn't
Dick the
that the
one
one
that
that
has
kept
all
break-
the
What's the
VHS
store?
tapes and
What's the Portland store that kept getting broken into?
Boy, I
Jump
don't know
Jump
that
is a
one.
great store. Jump
Yeah,
Jump.
Jump
And Dr. Robert, why did you keep breaking into that store?
Oh man, I am really. What happened? Did I do something that got up your nose?
It must be the liberal blue commie thing that people are trashing stores in Portland.
Somehow Waxed has a burr under his saddle today. I don't know what it is.
that's every day.
Yeah, well, kind of true.
It's just a different,
you know what?
different saddle each day.
There's so many burrs around here. I can't keep it straight.
Yeah,
This place is crawling with burrs.
it's a challenge. It's a challenge. So I saw you guys.
I feel like you're 30% away from being a human being, Dr. Robert, when it comes to your record collecting. And
What?
when it comes to being a record collector, you got to get rid of the labels from the front. You need to buy a real ultrasonic cleaning machine.
Oh my god!
And you need to
Can
get your records out of the boxes and put them on shelves or something.
I have something I'd like to ask Bob, and you know, you put those white stickers on the front, right?
Yeah.
Have you considered having someone design like a stick-on clear thing that has all the information you want, and all you have to do is mark the box, and then you can like a window sticker, you know, not something that's
label.
going to stay.
A pre-printed label, huh?
Yeah,
See,
and then you can just mark when you bought it, what you paid for it, when you cleaned it.
Well,
Dr. Robert's not a
say
moron.
this.
You're a
At this
moron,
point-
Rich.
At this point, I'm not going back and changing them all again, Harry. I'm telling you that. That's for sure.
But I think that would be something that record collector people would buy if someone designed it, printed them up in 1,000-piece.
You know what you
It's-
could do, Doc?
It's not a bad thought.
Doc,
Not a
why
bad
don't you take it out of the sleeve and just turn it around so the sticker's on the back?
Yeah,
I've heard that advice
I told them that a
before.
long time ago.
I've heard that advice before. I'm not, listen, I do want to, I just want to say, let me just show this. So
Is that signed?
no, none of these are signed,
We're
but
picking on Doc today. We apologize.
yeah, I know. I can tell. I don't know what I've done, but at any rate,
It's like
this
high
is-
school. You always pick on one guy.
We're looking at what you've done.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second before you talk, Doc. This is one of the rare ones where he has 2 labels on the
Yeah,
front.
exactly. So I may make a bigger video about this. I've been listening to yesterday. I listened to about 8 live albums by Iggy with or without the Stooges. This is the most powerful of the ones I listened to yesterday, and it is just so good. It is worth digging out. It's only about 10 years old, I want to say.
Is that a bootleg? Is that real?
2011 it came out, but this is it's a live version pretty much with the band that recorded Raw Power, not completely, but god damn, it is a smoking hot live version of that album and worth digging out. So there you have it. That's my last contribution to I don't know whatever you call this today, but
Tell us about your Autodesk again.
yeah, you want to hear that? Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Now, Dr. Robert, when you use the audio desk, do you also have your microwave near so you can see things spinning?
Good God.
around?
All right. I'm going to say this. I think you can judge my level of self-confidence by the fact that I sit here and take all your shit without really complaining much. And that's just a fact.
Well, you know
So,
what?
There you go.
I would love you to complain about it.
But Rob, I'll tell you, Rob,
Consider
you
this
should
a
hear the
complaint.
shit that he when Bob and I are talking together. You should hear the way he talks about you.
My ass burns, I think, when he does
Yeah.
that.
Well,
I mean,
I'll
I
keep
think
looking for birds.
I think you need to get out of your own way, Dr. Robert, when it comes to collecting records and such.
Okay. Thank you for that heartfelt advice.
I mean, seriously, I don't think I've ever bought 4 of the same things that I have had problems with. Seriously.
No, I mean, the reason for that is that they gave me a huge discount. First of all, the first one I bought, there wasn't
How much
really.
does a brand new one go for?
There's somewhere over 4,000 now. I paid 4,000
for a vacuum that sucks water off a record.
Will you please? It's advertised as ultrasonic. I have a video up that proves that it's either very weakly ultrasonic or not ultrasonic. They still claim that it is. Now,
Wait,
if you let me tell the story, if you
question.
let me,
Do you have to go
you
like
ask,
this right next to the machine to make it ultrasonic?
You asked, let me talk. So the history is I bought that thing 10 years ago when nobody else had ultrasonic machines out there. The first one I had lasted 4,000 records, did a beautiful job.
Give us that in year terms.
Well, it was 10 years ago, so that lasted probably 4 years, and then broke. They gave me another one for $1,500, less than half. I thought, okay, that's reasonable, and so I bought that. It cleaned 5,000 or more records, did a beautiful job, lasted 5 years or something like that. And now over the last year, I've had 2 that broke almost immediately. And they gave me those back. After the first one, they said, yeah, we'll replace it for free. After the second one, they said, yeah, we'll replace it for free. And now 5 months in, they can't replace it. So yeah, I'm making a transition, but my history is not that.
Did you ever determine what did you do with the old machines?
Sent them back to the factory.
What is it that's not working? What does it not do?
You and I did a comparison, and the Humming Guru came out kind of.
I think the Humming Guru cleans about as well, maybe better, but don't even know because I think the Humming Guru is more legitimately ultrasonic. But
and there's a better.
It is ultrasonic.
Wait, I want to hear the doctor's
water off the record.
What we don't know is how long does the Humming Guru last? How many records is it?
I've had mine for going on 3 years.
Well, how many records?
Yeah,
how many
we do know how long the audio
know.
disc lasts.
Couldn't
We do
tell you
know,
that.
and that's
okay.
So far, you've got about $6,000
maybe
in the audio disc.
I'm providing information.
Dr. Robert, can I give you my experience with my first Humming Guru, which still works, by the way?
Sure.
So I on average clean 10 records a day with it. So let's just say I had it for over 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I well over cleaned 2,000 records on that machine.
Good.
The thing that went back, so it fell out of warranty about a month after the warranty fell out, which their customer service is awesome. The way they design that machine is you as a normal person could fix it with instructions.
Mm-hmm.
So my machine fell out of warranty. They determined that this little part that spins the record around, that's what didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Out of warranty, it cost me $25 ship to get that piece.
Yeah, same
with
here.
the instructions they sent me, it took me 5 minutes to repair it. The hardest thing was getting the cover off. I repaired it myself. It worked like that and still works.
Right.
So all I
Right.
can say is I've heard there's a person I know that's having more difficult issues with it. But people I know, I think Harry included, is they had to replace the circuit board, right, Harry?
And they did that for free. They sent me a free board.
Yeah.
And you did it
Took me
yourself.
10 minutes to replace it.
Well, I
I
may.
did
you know,
have to replace the pump, but
I
again, it
thought-
cost
I thought
$25
they-
a shift.
Here's the deal. What exactly stopped working with the audio desk?
Well, it just wouldn't even. I guess it's the motor. You know, and you know they've done the diagnostics, and what they've said is it's easier to just replace it with a new machine than to fix it. That's what they've said on every version. So you know, and I don't know the answer.
vacuum. Was it the vacuum
No,
or it's
no,
spinning
it
around,
won't.
or what?
It won't turn. It won't
I'll
even
tell you
start
what,
turning the record.
if you contacted them and said, I'm going to do a video
Yeah.
about 3 machines I've got this year that have
Yeah.
all broken. I just want you to know I'm going to go out there and do a video and tell the world about it. They'd fix it for you pretty damn quick.
Well, you might think that. I actually had that conversation, but the group I'm in contact with is not the manufacturer. It's a sales rep, a sales organization here in the States. And I saw Rich made a comment that the Humming Guru is ultrasonic, and I do want to talk about that for a minute. And I talk about that in those in the video, one of the videos I made about it. And the test is, does it cavitate? I put tin foil into the bath while it was running, and if it cavitates the tin foil, that's evidence that it's ultrasonic, and it does not do that. Now, what that means is either one, it's not at all ultrasonic, or possibly it's ultrasonic at a low enough level that it can't cavitate.
Not powerful enough, yeah.
Right.
So-
not-
All I know is it works.
So
It
that would
cleans
make
the
it be
records. That's all I
useless.
care.
It does.
If
It
it-
worked. It worked. It was a nice record cleaner. It was
It
effective.
cleans it, it dries it.
But it doesn't
Yeah.
cavitate. It just gave it a little bath.
Well, that's the question. Is there a low level of cavitation that doesn't damage the record and therefore also doesn't damage the tinfoil? I don't know. So,
And therefore doesn't get the actual shit out of the grooves.
Now-
well, it might not be as effective.
Well,
Well,
as
if you look at your filter, you'll see the shit's in there.
yeah, it
Question
cleans.
for you,
It
Dr.
cleans.
Robert. Did you take that
Anyway.
tinfoil afterwards, wrap it around a baked potato, and bake it? And what happened?
Yeah.
Those,
Well, I'm thinking.
Well, I
I
mean,
wish.
You're a man
I
of
don't-
science because
I think.
it's about tinfoil.
I
All I'm
think
saying is you bought a shitty record cleaner. Go get a good one.
yeah.
Well, I'm thinking. I wish.
Cut your
that what I-
losses, Doc.
All right, here. What I wish I had done with the tinfoil is make a voodoo doll out of it, shaped like you waxed, and stuck a couple
Why
of
don't you
needles.
wear it on your head
needles
like
in its eye.
Rachel used to do?
Hey,
Just
I
say
just
cut
want
your
everyone
losses,
to
Doc.
know,
Cut your losses.
in my whole disagreements with Dr. Robert about everything, in my end, never resulted to violence.
Yeah.
Dr. Robert chooses to make
I'm-
voodoo dolls of me.
I'm
I've
ready
never
now.
heard of
I'm
people
ready.
having the same adventures with the KL Audio or the Degritter or any of the other ones that
Uh,
the Doc has
Elliot-
had. But I
Elliot-
heard everyone I know who's had the audio desk has had the same or worse experience that the doctor has.
Now, how do you know
Everyone.
that?
Huh?
So everybody you know that had it didn't like it.
Yeah, well, it's not that they didn't like it. They all had the exact same experience you have. It kept breaking down.
Kept breaking down.
Now-
And yeah, I believe
Now,
that.
Elliot
And
says you can do this by hand. Yes,
ever
you
talked
can.
to anyone who had a KL Audio or a Degritter who had that same experience. But
Yeah.
everybody with the audio desk from the beginning has had this experience that you're having, where they work for a while, then they stop, and guys sit there looking around like, what, okay, and then they spend another 2 grand on it. I know guys that have bought 3 of them, but
Okay.
know,
Well,
it's a-
can I just
seems like,
say
cut your losses.
yeah, no, I'm at that point. So can I just say thank you all so much for this therapeutic session. It has really,
No,
it has really
actually,
helped.
you've been without a record cleaner for 5 months.
Yes.
Go get a Humming Guru. Go on.
You know,
It'll be delivered tomorrow. Just in
I'll
the
be
The nice
honest
thing
with
meantime.
you,
about the
Dr.
Humming
Dr.
Guru
Robert-
is you put it in, you walk away. You come
Yeah,
back,
go
it's
get
done.
the new one. So let me
The Nova.
I've hold on for about 2 months. I've been hardcore using the new Humming Guru. What's it called,
Nova.
Matt?
Nova.
Nova.
Nova. Yeah, I saw it.
Hardcore using it. It has been nothing more than stellar.
You know,
There are
But
some.
Rob and
there
I
are-
never agree.
here's
We
the
agree
best
on
thing
this.
about the
Hold on,
Humming
Tom.
Guru. This is all it uses for water. That's it.
Yeah.
that-
And I do
yeah,
about
need
10.
a gallon.
I do about
but
10
that's
records.
Mary's urine. It's
I
not
do
water.
10 records before I change the water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about
So,
that.
let
yeah.
me finish telling Dr. Robert something.
Well, I'm just
Dr. Robert, it cleans every size of record. It is stellar. It works excellent.
You
I
can
don't
read a
think-
great
I mean-
article in the current Record Collector News. It was written by RCN staff. It's in the current Record Collector News about the Humming Guru, and they've got a static electricity thing that frickin' works.
Right
Really
here,
works.
Dr. Robert. Read this
And-
article.
Okay.
And
RCN
here's the other
staff.
thing. The Humming Guru gets a 99 rating on the Raging Tomato.
Yeah, Rotten
Oh,
Tomato.
yeah.
Don't
Shut
say
up.
that
No.
here, Harry. It's
There
There you
rotten.
go.
But
All
Harry,
right.
the audience score is exactly the same.
That's right.
All
Uh-huh.
right.
I'm serious, Dr. Robert.
Uh,
Don't go spend $3,000 on a degrader. Go get the $700 on that Humming Guru Nova.
Just until your degrader just until your audio desk gets back. Just
Yeah,
in the
right.
meantime.
All right. Well,
That's how I
think-
got fired from
No, it's
Village
Raging
Voice.
Tomato. For Rob, it's Raging Tomato, not Rotten Tomato.
Hold on.
Raging.
I was just about to talk about the T-shirts from the Concert Buddy store.
Mm,
Oh no.
Jose's
we-
here.
Jose's getting in. Thank you, Jose. I think Jose and I are having about the same reaction right now. So
No,
I'll
he
say-
just no, he's realizing how horrible you are at buying audio equipment.
can I
Stop!
Yeah. Thank you all so much for this therapeutic session. It's a new day for me. It's just
Somehow I don't believe it.
No,
Mazzy,
we're
put
the
that link
official-
up one more time, would you, for your whatnot, so I can copy it?
okay.
What is that, tomorrow?
This
No,
Friday, this Saturday, 4
Saturday.
p.m. I'm trying it to see if it works. It's 1 hour, 4 to 5 Pacific time. You have to pre-register. It will be, I think, if I can, still figuring it out. I can rebroadcast it to YouTube, but you can't buy there. And I'm
Right.
trying it because it's on the other side, on the post side with labeling and everything. It's much simpler. So I'm trying it, and it's from my own collection here. I'll put the link up again.
yeah,
You
we'll,
gotta
we'll let
pre-register.
Mazzy put his link up. We'll surmise today's show. The things we've learned is all the important writing in this world is done by the RCN staff. Dr. Robert hopefully will get a real ultrasonic machine and stop throwing tinfoil in places thinking it's ultrasonic.
oh my god.
Harry's gonna buy the Springsteen box, and then
I got a
Mazzy's
paper
gonna
to
put
go
up-
get, man. I got
Raw Power Live.
And there was not one
And-
joke
and-
today about
and-
teabagging either.
And that's progress, Harry. That's what you
Well,
call
I
it.
don't-
weird with that.
I don't know. Can you drop tinfoil in it when you teabag, Harry?
Dr. Robert and I were walking down the street the other day.
Oh, God.
And there was a goat with his head stuck in the
A
fence.
sheep, not a goat.
Ah.
I wouldn't
No.
fucking
Yeah,
goat.
it's a sheep.
Jose,
You
Jose,
have one joke.
Jesus,
One
that's
joke.
sick. That is sick.
Jose, I haven't seen Jose in a while. Jose, it's
Did
good to
you
see you.
post your link?
I thought Trump put
Yeah,
you in a cage. I didn't know you
Hold
were
on.
still around.
Stop insulting. Did you post your stupid link, Mazzy?
I did. And
I
my
don't see it yet.
Maslov, there's no Z in Maslov. There's a Z in Mazzy, but no Z in
There's
Maslov.
no link showing up.
Yeah.
There's a Norman Maslov after Rick's thing at 9:07 a.m. There's a link. I posted it. I see it.
We
Oh,
don't.
okay, got it.
Do you see it?
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Well, everyone have a
I
good
want to
day.
make sure I don't accidentally
Power.
stop there.
Can everyone have a good
Have a
day
great
today?
day, Doc.
Let's
This-
all
I would
try.
like to say this was the first stream without any morons coming in. So thank you.
Well, Well,
That's not true.
It depends how you define that.
Usually, if you people who drop tinfoil and things.
Harry's
Yeah.
here.
Okay. All right.
Bye, everyone. Have a lovely day.
bye everyone.
Hasta la vista.